if we take Doug and Turk out of the equation, who are some of your favorite personalities behind the bench and off ice around the league for you to
Oh,
deal with?
well, man, great question. I mean, in Columbus, a number of great coaches. Dave King was special. He and his wife Linda at the start. They were Dave's a terrific individual. Moving on from that, Todd Richards as well was terrific behind the bench. Gerard was there. Obviously, he said you take him out of the mix. Um, I remember a story with Mike Babcock, and he gets a lot of flack at times about how he deals with people. So I can remember coming into the night, coming into the broadcast, and he's going up into the booth and whistling or singing a tune of some sort, working in the NHL. It's not that bad, and I open up the door and set my kit bag in, and I'm getting all my paperwork done, and so anyway, I'm settling in, checking the audio levels on the gear, and getting my liquids ready to go for the game, and all that type of stuff. And I get a tap on the door, and big security guy, about 6'6" in a suit, steps in. And he says, "George," he said, "Yeah." He says, "Mike Babcock wants to see you." I said, "What?" I said, "Mike Babcock." I said, "What's he want to see the me for as a broadcaster?" I said, "No, geez, what did I say wrong? Did I say something about his hair, or was I being a smartass on the radio?" I'm trying to quietly think, what the Lord did I say to Mike Babcock or about Mike Babcock? Anyway, I said, "Listen, tell Mike Babcock to come up here and see me." And the guy, the 6'6", yeah, like, "George, that's not going to happen." So I said, "Okay, give me a few minutes here to get my gear finished up here." And I'm trying to think as I'm saying, what the hell did I say about Mike Babcock? He said, "Anyway, George, I'll take you down." I said, "Okay." I said, "Are you going to stay with me?" And he laughed. Anyway, he took me down to the bowels of the arena, and I walked by the Jackets dressing room. I see our PR guy, Ryan Holtman. I said, "Ryan, Mike Babcock wants to see me." I said, "What? You know what that's up about?" He said, "I don't know, George, but you screwed up." And I said, "Thanks for the vote of confidence, Ryan." Anyway, so anyhow, I walked by and he said, and I look into the Detroit dressing room, and I'm trying to connect with a few people, and I'm just trying to see where Mike Babcock was, and I just said, "Is Mike Babcock around here?" And they said, "Just hold on, he'll be out in a minute or two." I said, "He wanted to see me." And they said, "Who are you?" I said, I'm the Jackets radio play-by-play guy." So they said, "Okay, again, hold on." So there's a curtain in there and in the dressing room. And so anyway, all of a sudden, swoosh, the curtain opens up. Out comes a charging Mike Babcock. And I'm in the middle of the doorway. And I said, "Uh-oh." I said, "The engine's loose. I better get out of the way." So anyway, he's coming towards me. Eyes are glued on me. So anyway, I slip back out the door. He blows by me, and he goes down the passageway towards the visiting bench. Turns around and says, "Come here." And I said, "Jesus, what did I say here anyway?" Because he doesn't look like he's a happy camper. So anyway, he comes down to the bench, and he stands on the bench, and I work my way down, not too actively. I take my time. I come down, and so he turns back to me, and he points his finger at my face. He says, "I want to tell you something." And I said, "Okay, Mike, what do you want to tell me?" He said, "I just saw your Voices series on TV, where they did a Voices segment on each city's play-by-play guy. They either take the radio guy or they would take the TV guy. In Columbus, they took me, the radio guy, to try to highlight a 30-minute segment on the NHL television network." I said, "Okay, Mike." He said, "George," he said, "listen, I don't listen to radio." He said, I listen to TV. He said, "I don't listen to radio." Uh, he said, "You know what? You don't do a bad job." I said, "Well, Mike, I appreciate that. And I'm still trying to think where this is going to go." And because, he was giving me a compliment, but yet he's going to kick me in the butt here. I can see this is coming. So he said, "No." He said, "The reason why I brought you down here." I said, "Yeah." He said, "You know what? I watched your segment here down in my rec room the other night, And he said, I watched it for about 10 minutes. And I said, yeah, okay. And he said, then I put it on pause and I rewound it. And he said, I told my two boys, I said, you come down here. And he said, they came down. He said, now I want you to watch this guy. He said, this guy is just like your old man. He said, I keep telling you that you can't get anywhere without hard work. And you know my story. He said to my kids, he said, listen to this guy's story. And he said, he pressed play, and he said they watched the whole thing for the half hour. And he just wanted to congratulate me on putting in the time on the East Coast and getting to the National Hockey League, which I always wanted to do, which is the same thing that he actually did, coming from an education background, turning it into a pro career, and getting to the level that he had gotten to. But that's the message that he wanted to give to his kids, that in fact, if you work hard enough, there's a chance you might get to where you want to go. But if you don't work, there's zero chance to get to where you want to go. And that was the point that he was making with his kids.